Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com and we're back with part 3 of playing the Fish Party Sit and Goes over on Stan James Poker. Progressive, jackpots, three-handed, turbo, sit and goes, winner takes all unless it's a jackpot, turn little into lots, you know the story by now guys. We're going to hop straight in and this time we're going up to the €5 level. What simply happens is you register. And then the jackpot wheel, which is kind of like a slot machine wheel, will pop up in a second when the other two players sit. And off we go. Let's have a quick look in the lobby, actually. Oh, actually, we don't want to miss this in case it's a big one. Oh, God, the worm. The worm's been killing us. So, yeah, the €5 ones, wow, it's gone up to 30k. So the progressive jackpot on that is growing pretty heavily, and it doesn't seem to have dropped. So who knows, maybe we can get a good one on video. Jack 5, I think, is going to be a fold. 25 big blinds, min raise. Even though there are antes in play, I think it's okay to fold there and preserve a stack. Gonna try blind versus blind raise here with 6-8 off. We could also limp here, I think. I think a limp might be a nice play. I don't hate folding either, but 6-8 off. It's just that hand that we can definitely get into our playing range rather than folding range. 5-3 is going to be a muck. 3-minute blinds. And blinds go 10, 20 to 15, 30. So that's okay, you get a little bit more play. And basically these are winner takes all unless it is a jackpot, and then the jackpots are actually split. Say on PokerStars, if the jackpot's 100k, the winner would get 100, and then I think second and third get 10. On here it would more be like 60, 30, 10 or something like that. So more like sit and go-esque payout structure. But we don't care about that until we hit it. The aim is to get there first. But these are €5 ones, so we're still paying for €10 each time as a minimum, so definitely have to concentrate. King 3, I think we could 3-bet jam if the blinds were up to 15-30. But I think with the 10-20 we can just basically call and play a flop. He checks the flop, which generally means ace high or maybe a pair, and he's trying to trap. So I think I'm probably just going to check down, hope to fill up, or, you know, maybe hero call him on the river. Once I make a full house, it's a pretty quick call. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up with a big pair or a 9 here or something silly. But yeah, I mean, we have a full house in this format. It's always going to be a hand we play. And yeah, he did have the ace high and he made the same full house, so we chop it up. Not that surprised he had ace high the way he was playing it. I think we get hero call on a lot of rivers there, so I would have just taken it to showdown. A7, we're going to go ahead and try the min raise. If we had... If the buys are 15-30 and I'd a 500 stack, I would jam. But I think the jam here would just be a little bit too eager. So parts 1 and 2 have already been released. You can view the rules and basically find out more about the promo below. Just click the link. 7-10 off is pretty close. I think we'll opt to peel though. I know 8-10 is definitely going to peel. Probably gut shot on a flush draw here. Both not the ideal gut shot on flush draws to have. We turn a pair, so this will be a very easy check call. He can definitely have us crushed here, but we can also be incredibly live, or he can just be semi-bluffing, so hopefully he just bets like small, and we can call. He half-pots it, I mean, very easy call here. And we're basically going to call any 7, 10, 9, or club river. If it bricks and he still bets, it's going to probably be a fold, because I think he might have taken a pot control line on the flop. And yeah, I think when he half-pots it, it looks very strong. So, I mean, it's a big fold to make once he checks flop and draws miss. But I think it's a fold we have to make. Deuce 3 suited, gonna just limp. We can also muck this hand. Flop 3-3, so I think I'm just going to check in and start betting turns and river. And I'm just going to min bet. I hate the fact that it's a king because it's a strong card. I'd rather it was like a 10 or something, so he maybe could have like turned a straight draw or a pair, but we definitely can't keep checking there. We need to start getting value. A6, I think, is definitely a jam. You know, min raising, you know, we don't want to min raise, call it off, you know, or at least we're not happy to do it. And we don't want to min raise, see a flop, and just, you know, be playing A6 off versus any 2 mid to strong kind of range. Like I say, I am not a sit and go pro. I have very limited experience. So this is more just showing off the games and talking about them and trying to learn as we go. Get a lead with a flush draw. I think that's fine. If I get raised, I'll just jam it in. Also have that running straight draw. Nobody raised pre-flop, so it's kind of hard to think that there's lots of like sets or two pairs or big aces out there. So I think I can, lead and get folds and also be able to barrel or just get it in versus one pair and, like I say, flush draw, straight draw. Well, flush draw and backdoor straight draw. And 2 live cards, hopefully, so wouldn't be in that bad shape at all versus one pair. A limp and a jam there. Blinds up to 20-40, so this is just a very clear call off or get in. Essentially just very happy to get the money in here with King Queen, 3-handed. For not many big blinds. Sadly, he wakes up with an ace, and we're dead to a 10 on the river, and we do not hit. So that's a bit unfortunate. I think he played his hand fine. I think we just ran into a better hand, and that was that. That will happen. All in here, obviously, we're not going to be folding, so it's just any 2 goes in. And it's quite nice to have a jack. As we're going to be ahead a lot of time when we have a jack in our hand. Blind versus blind. And we double up, back in the game. I'm going to fold the 5-6 off. I know I only have 4 big blinds, but I've only invested an ante. And I think their range is going to be pretty much, calling me off with any 2. So, 5-6 versus any 2 does not play that well. So, I don't think I've got any fold equity, basically. So I'd rather just, get it in the blinds, or, say I somehow manage to fold the blinds, then I can just ship the button. But I'd imagine I will be going with it in the next couple of hands. Hopefully we can double up and get back in the game. It's that kind of format where, a chip in a chair literally is a chip in a chair. You can really crush with like a chip in a chair. Just to win a few all-ins and you're about to start and stack. Gonna check here, and I think I'm just gonna lead jam this flop. I might get called by Jack Queen. I don't ever get better to fold, but nobody raised pre-flop, so how many strong hands are really out there? And like, Jack Queen, Jack 9, 7, 9. Been called in 2 spots, which is not good. So I think we need a 10 or a 6. Maybe a 10's no good, but being called in 2 spots is not ideal. I didn't expect that. And this guy's now just, happy to get it all in, so I think we're going to be in trouble. Oh, wow, and he's called. Don't like that 9. Jack Queen does get there. This guy's got 50 back. Be funny if he checks and I somehow win, but yeah, he's all in. And a quick call, and we see Ace King, Ace 6. Wow. Even though he won a big pot there, I don't really understand why I played the hand that way by limping the button. He should want to just jam pre to get it in versus me to win like 3 or 4 big blinds like so often, Because I'm just going to go with any 2 pretty much all the time there. Oh, this is interesting. What does this mean? It's a triple, okay. We've had a 6 times multiplier. That's the biggest so far. We'll take a triple. All the buy-ins actually in play. Fold the 8 deuce on the button. I think that is always going to be the play to make. Raise there, notice that he 4x'd it. He made it 80. And this guy just flat called, which is pretty interesting. So, I'd imagine this guy has like a 9-10, 10-jack suited type hand, Queen 10 suited that he just didn't want to ship pre-flop and was just happy to see flop with. Straight gets on the river, backdoor flush gets on the river. I would like to see these hands. King 10 beat... Wow, okay, so I got that wrong. I don't think that is a defend there with Queen 5 versus 4x in the first hand. Interesting spot here. Interesting spot. I think I have to fold, but... I mean, I don't think it's ever terrible to just jam there, because, we have a suited ace, we're going to be, like, doing fine. But it does just seem very, like, weird with this guy's sizing, and the hand they had before, like, what are they playing this way? Do I ever get folds? I'm not sure. Obviously, now I see the board, I wish I put it in. But I think I played that hand fine. This guy's obviously actually just crazy bad. I wish I jammed that ace 3 now. His sizings are just all over the place. 20 into 168. The last one was 168 into 168. check raise, and an all-in. This is so odd. Eights, wow, okay, flop the set. God, he got aces. This is a very weird game, this fish party. Just so much value to be had, like, honestly. Like, it's just such random play. Like I say, I'm learning as I'm going along, and I'm talking to someone about getting written content created, and I really hope we can get it with, ranges and just general strategy. Pretty great flop for me there, and he's led 20. I think I just dwell up and then call a turn and somehow try and get some value on the river by raising, but I guess he's going to bet 20 again. Okay, he checks. I think I might just... It's really horrible to check back here, because, there's only 124 in the middle and we've only got 368, so it's kind of like, we should be getting value, and are we ever going to get paid off on the river enough? But you really can't have much when I have ace-king on an ace-ace-king 8. So I feel this way is more deceptive and maybe works a bit more often than betting 40 on the turn. We got him to at least bet the river and he ends up folding. He's now making it 96, which I imagine is pot. King 5, I think I'm just going to rip. Don't want to min raise. Folding seems a bit nitty with king high. He's called me off with ace 7, that's a shame, but I flopped 2 pair, and he's drawing dead on the turn, so we are now the chip leader. Good call by him. I think this jam's correct. Leave a comment below if you guys agree. Queen deuce will be a muck. Oh, he limps this time, so we're going to go ahead and check and hope to hit a flop, which we don't. Pretty much the worst flop ever there for our hand. Not that there's many amazing flops of queen deuce, apart from ones with lots of deuces and lots of queens on. Folding the 3 high, this guy seems quite active. I don't think min raising versus him is going to work that well. He acts very quick. Yeah, really acts very quick. We will try to min raise with this hand. We could also limp with this hand. Yeah, sadly he jams. Kind of felt that was going to happen. I think limping would be cool as well. But we're just never going to be folding a hand like that. We need to be playing that hand in position somehow. We are needing some semi-good cards. Like, you don't need the nuts in this game. You just need to not get rags like 9-3 off. I don't know what this Duck Duck Goose badge means. That there is a one where it's called Loose Larry or something, and it's like if someone's been playing like really, really loose, and it's just so true. Everyone who's had that badge, every time I 3-bet them, they 4-bet me. Okay, he tanks and tanks and tanks and calls, and we just check. This will be a check fold. Might try and bluff a river, but I honestly think this is more just a give up and on to the next one kind of spot. He ends up potting the turn, which is interesting. I would start to try and decipher what that means, but, maybe he doesn't know what that means. My limp gets instantly jammed on. We're now pretty much evens in chips. This is an all-in. Don't want to just make it 120, him to call, me to be out of position with a6 off. So I think jamming to just take down the blinds, or if he wants to call, we can get it in ahead. Gonna be a bit balanced here and limp my ace-jack and hope he jams. Sadly he checks and we get a really bad board. And he leads. I think I have to float here just because if an ace or a jack comes off, my hand is very well hidden. But sadly we get a really bad turn card there. And that plan didn't work, probably just ran into some sort of junkish kind of hand. Peeling the min raise on 9-10, flopping nothing, so it's going to be a check fold. Not running good versus this guy. He could have bet any amount there and I'd have to fold. Going to limp ace 8 and call if he jams, and we could also have min raised it. Good flop for us here, we should win this pretty much all the time. He might have a king or a 3, but the likeliness is he doesn't. Now that king's come, it's almost unbelievable if he does. So I think I'm just going to be calling down. And if he has it, he has it. It's worrying if he does bomb the river, the fact that I've called flop and called turn. But yeah, we're sticking with the plan. And yeah, he just has 4-5 off. Easy game. He's brave. Maybe brave is a nicer word than me saying stupid. That is not a good bluff by him at all. I've limped the button, I've called flop, I've called turn. He is going to be in a world of pain. He leads again. think I might call and raise turn, because I obviously can't really call river with a queen. And that is exactly what we're going to do. And it's a good turn to do it. I'm going to just make it 90, and then I'll bomb, like, 230 river. Just kind of hoping he folds. Wow, he jams. This is so odd. This is so odd. I did not expect that. I thought he was just going to fold. I guess he has a strong hand, or a flush draw, maybe. Plan failed, guys. Plan failed. Going to peel the jack-9. Really bad flop. Will be a check fold. He pots it on this board. I've seen a lot of potting on the, like, ace-king X boards. Not something I'm used to. Don't have a clue what it means yet. I probably think it means more like a bluff or a draw, more than like a made hand. But that's just a guess. Gonna be all in here with king queen. Call it, jam it, whatever. I've got this habit of smashing my mouse now. Seems to be clicking a bit too aggressively. I don't know why. I've just developed it in the last day. 410 is going to be a muck. Deuce three off. Guess what? We flop a pair. But I think it's still a fold. It's hard to make a pair. But literally any turn card there is really bad for us, apart from a deuce or a 3. Gonna jam the queen 5 suited for my 12 big blinds, excuse me. Very standard play there. Deuce is obviously a jam. If we check, we're just going to be check folding pretty much 92-93% of the time, unless we hit a set. Jack queen, I think it's just fine to jam. Blinds have gone up, so it's only 12 bigs. He wakes up with ace king, which is annoying. We need a jack or a queen on the river. We do not hit, so we lose that one. But I think we played fine. And yeah, we're going to jump straight into another. Why not? So this is not going well so far, but hopefully we can get like a 4x multiplier and get back to evens pretty quick. Sadly, it's just a double. This is our third game, so we're in for €15 so far. Nothing we can't pull back. I won a little bit in the €1 ones. Did a couple of Facebook live streams and, of course, the videos that you've seen on here. These are great for like rake back grinders as well. So if you've got like the 30% rake back, the deposit bonus, the rake race, and all that good stuff, then you're going to be printing, because these games are also very soft. Jam ace king here. I could raise, I could make it like 160 and call it off, but I think jamming's fine. I think jamming actually makes hand look weaker rather than stronger. Nine, 10 of the suited. Get 2 calls and flop a flush draw. In this setting, when you start with 25 big blinds, when it's winner takes all, I will just get it in. Like, I'll just bet get it in, or I'll just jam here, whatever. We can get it in versus like 7-8 of clubs, 6-7 of clubs. Just a 4. Even versus this hand, we're not that far behind. And, we can always make the flush. Which we do. That felt good. I think I'm going to raise this. It sucks if you raise and they jam, but I think raising's fine. We're just going to pile on the pressure. Flop a flush draw, so it's just going to be the same as last time. Just try and get all the chips in. God, I would have turned it as well. Never made so many flushes in my life. 4-5 off. This is going to be a fold. I don't think we need to play that wide yet. We have a really good chip lead. Everything's feeling positive about this one. Gonna jam the ace deuce. Again, checking. We're just not going to win enough post flop. Raising small and getting called. We're just not going to, win enough post flop again. So, I definitely prefer to jam these, weak aces. We've been called here with ace 5, and he's got ace 10, which is a shame. So we need a diamond. Oh my god, we just called us the flush. Flush machine. So we won that one. I think we played fine. I think we played great. Things definitely went our way, of course. We made 2 draws, but I think we played all the correct hands in all of the correct way. Let's hope we get a big one here. And so we can pull back some of the losses. Looking in the lobby, there's lots of winners of 1k. Biggest winner still 13. Goddamn worm. This worm crushes my soul. Every time I see him, I just feel sick. 6 deuce, not a good hand. This fish for chips was just in the last one. So possibly worth noting him as a reg. I think red's good for reg. We can always change that if we see him play poorly, but he played pretty well in that last one. And just the fact that he's been in 2 back-to-back, maybe is a reg. I like to note people, I like to pin people, because you can change it, you know. And if I do make a note on someone, by the way, I put a little date. So it might be like, you know, he's terrible on the 21st of July 2012, because maybe by July 2013 he's really good. So should always be checking your notes and updating them. I think her lead's quite nice here with the backdoor draw on the paired board. I think we get a fair bit of respect. You know, it's really hard for someone to continue if they didn't have a pocket pair pre-flop or a jack reduced post-flop. So, yeah, we take it now. Queens, we'll just go for a min-raise. I think min-raising is way better than limping. Terrible flop, but he did not raise pre-flop, so not many aces in his range. So I'm just going to go ahead and bet and try and get value out like a jack or a draw, or maybe even a 3. Possibly a hand like Jack 10 as well. Even King 10. Gonna fold the King Deuce even though I'm getting a good price. It is just not going to play well multi-way. Min bet and a call. Interesting min bet on such a wet flop. Check on turn. And we ace 4 versus ace 9. Ace 4 I'd have 3-bet jammed pre-flop there. Or you just jammed versus the limp. Yeah, that's the problem with, you know, seeing those kind of boards. Even though you would have run into ace 9, it really doesn't matter. He's just not going to be able to play anywhere near good enough. Pretty interesting that the king now flops on the turn after it went bet and min raise on flop. This guy's still happy to bet. Interesting. You know, we've got a queen. It's a very dry board. The turn pairs all makes it way harder for people to just have anything. A jam blind versus blind. I'd imagine his jams are generally like smaller pairs, ace rags, king jack suited, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just going to 3-bet jam here. He's quite loose and we've got a king. I don't expect to call with that much worse, but I expect to fold a good amount of the time. And even though we're risking 500 to win like 65 or whatever was in the pot, 54, king 10 just versus any 2. It's not going to be any 2, I guess, because it's his calling range. Even versus calling range, you know, he's going to have smaller pairs, going to have some jack-queen suited, ace-jack, ace-queen, ace-9 suited, ace-8 suited. I don't think we're going to be a massive underdog, but I just feel like we get more folds anyway. Moving on to this hand, some action on the flop. These two like just betting and min-raising and min-betting and all loads of weird funky stuff. Queen 7. You know, if I was at Queen 7, I'd have bet 3/4 on the flop, 3/4 on the turn, maybe smaller check back river. Jam the ace 10 anyway here, get called by queens. That's a pretty good flop. And that's a pretty good run out. We could also just min raise call off with ace 10. It's I think it's one of those doesn't matter kind of spots. Jack 6, I'm gonna lead. I don't like leading pot. I think it's lazy. So I'm gonna lead 50 and just not think about folding. Pretty great turn card for us there. Going to bet pretty big on turn. It's just such a wet board. Deuce, I don't know how many diamonds he has. I don't love the fact that I'm betting because I'm going to fold if he jams. But I don't want to miss value from like a 10. And wow, he does have the flush and just flat calls. Guys, bit of advice. If you do have the flush, don't just call. You know, jam it in. You know, I made my size in there so I could get called by worse. All in here with a king 5 suited. Again, going to get a lot of folds. Can call me with worse. Even versus a lot of hands, we're doing, you know, pretty well versus it. So we get called by 10s. It took a while. We need a king, which we do not hit. And we're on to the next one. That jack hand at the end, not 100% sure. We have a triple. And we are going again. I think this one gets us back to evens, if we bing. Jack 3 is going to be a fold, of course. 5-6-8 board. Some action could happen with a limp and a check pre-flop. Obviously, you know, you're wanting to get a heads up as quick as possible. Especially if you're a good heads up player. You're going to have a huge edge. Also, as well, like if you're a 6-handed cash game player, you're going to be able to adjust. Learn some ranges. Just follow game flow, note people, and play a lot, of course, you know. That's always going to be the best way to learn. So, I think anyone can come on these and just start winning pretty quickly. I don't think you're going to experience a massive downswing. I mean, you will at some point, because variance in 3-handed turbo sit and goes is not ideal. Sorry, I mean, it's quite high. So it will happen, but upswings of, like, you know, 100 binds plus will definitely happen as well, so. And also, you know, you could be the guy who bought in for €10 and won 13k. That's always a nice one. It's always a nice way to make some money. Yeah, €13,566.77 was won on the first day of these launching. Looking in the lobby, other winners 5,400, and then lots of 1k. It's going to appeal here with the suited Doyle. And flop nothing at all. This guy just jams. I don't know what his jamming range is here. I don't think it's good with anything. Maybe just the king of spades in your hand, but again, I don't think it's necessary. Ace-8, just going to be a rip. Again, like limping and raising small, you're just never going to play it well. This guy just limp folded 3s on the button with 20 big blinds, guys, and he showed it. Why would you show it? Going to rip the ace-deuce offsuit. I am certain this is the correct line with these hands. I'm certain. I will get confirmation. No 4 and we chop it. Lovely. That's okay. I just can't see there being any, any more profitable way to play it. Queen 5 versus a jam is going to be a fold. This game's playing a bit more standard, more all-ins, more calls. The other ones have been very like limpy, foldy and stuff, so pretty random. This one's actually playing a little bit more normal. I'm going to just call here. Getting a good price. Suited gap connector. Fine to just call. We're not risking that much. Even this one raises behind. Not a great flop for us, even though we've got the back doors. There's going to be some jack queens, some 7-8s, some 9s, some 10s. Definitely out there. So I don't think we're going to see the turn that often. And even though we're getting 4-1, we have a player behind. It's just a fold. It is just a fold. Ace-deuce, certainly now the blind's gone to 15-30. This is a jam. Would be interested if I am getting this spot wrong, and that's something I want to learn really quick. So if any of you guys know what you're doing, leave it in the comments below. It's a 4-part series, as I mentioned. This is part 3. In part 4, we're going to probably play a mix of stakes, €5, €10, €20 and €50 as just a little ender. Maybe just do 110, 120 and 150 or something like that. This guy's taking so long to act. I don't know why. Obviously it's not good when you are playing a turbo structure and the blinds are going up so quick and you have limited blinds for somebody to be taking a long time. I'm going to go for a check call with this king, with his 7-10, and that sucks. That sucks. I could have definitely led that turn after he checked the flop, but I'm going to go for a check call anyway here, even though he can have aces in his range. It's just because it's such a great card for him to bluff. Ace-10 suited. We could get trappy and limp or min raise, or we could jam. I think all of those ideas are good. Queen 10 suited are going to jam. We get called, and he has aces, but we have a flush draw, which we don't hit. That's sad. It's funny, actually, this guy was such a nit. I was like, maybe he's going to fold a big hand. Maybe he needs a really big hand to call me with. And he had it. He had the medicine. We really need to win this one. I think this one gets us evens on the session, or maybe €5 down. Gonna call here. I have 6 big blinds and a king. You know, it is pretty much all we can hope for. And sadly, we're out. Might as well give him the royal. No, they didn't. So that's the end of part 3. That was the €5 fish party scene goes over on Stan James. Please get signed up, have a little play around, and yeah, good luck. This is John for PokerVIP.com.